entertainment report time. Let's get it going, yo. All right, man. So we got some dope news to talk about. First off, like Ryan said earlier, if you didn't hear, my guy Prophet Josiah, God made me do it. Mr. God made me do it himself. Birthday is today, so happy birthday to you, sir. And then to celebrate his birthday, man, go stream his album. You know what I'm saying? God made me do it. You know what I'm saying? He got
100,000 times.
You know what I'm saying? He got a new.
Use a bot. No, don't do that. You might get his account taken.
He said he got a deluxe coming soon too. So man, check it out, man. And I think he got a new single out too. But first off, R.I.P. to Dr. Charles Stanley, man. We would like to send our prayers to the First Baptist and the In Touch Ministries family. Pastor Dr. Charles Stanley has gone home to be with the Lord. Please lift his family and his church in your prayers. You want to say anything, bro?
Okay, so Dr. Stanley was my pastor when I first got to Atlanta. A lot of the reason why I'm in Atlanta is because my parents used to listen to Dr. Stanley on the radio. So we came here and we were immediately at that church, and it's made a big impact on my life. That's where I started doing a lot of stuff you see me do now, video production, spoken word. I started in the youth ministry in First Baptist Atlanta under Charles Stanley. So it was tough to see. A lot of you guys know his son, Andy. Andy's been doing a lot of big things. I've done stuff with Andy in the past as well. I performed for Andy's church as well, and the whole, Passion and the whole community. So, it was tough to see. Of course, people have their problems with him, but all I know is he made a big impact on my family. If you watch In Touch Ministries, you may even see in some of the old videos my dad and my mom in the choir.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were all up in there. So, no matter what you think about the church is very diverse. There's a lot of black people there. It's pretty well mixed, and that was important to him as well. So, you may not agree. A lot of people may not agree with his politics. That's why I keep referring to it. But he was a good man. Like he really cared. He really cared about people learning the word, understanding who God was, not just, emotionally connected to God, but really understanding what you're reading. Yeah. So that to me is his legacy. He left a really, really big legacy.
So man, shout out to them, man. I think they were saying his viewing is soon. I can't remember what date they said, but yeah. So, all right, man. Vote for GH3, God's House of Hip Hop, a candidate for Internet Station of the Year at the Stellar Awards. We need your help, man, to get those votes to be part of the nomination. So go to stellarawards.com, select radio ballots, scroll down to Internet Station of the Year, select GH3, Alessandro Hamilton. I think that's MC Nice real government name, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so go do that, and you can help us get Internet Station of the Year. It's a big thing, man, and to get that will be big because it's a Christian hip hop station. So, and the Stellar Awards is gospel music, so that would be huge for us to get. All right, Major's Pain, man. Major's Pain. As y'all know, Jonathan Major prepared for a May 8th court appearance on domestic violence charges. His PR problems are about to get bigger. Sources familiar with the matter tells that multiple alleged abuse victims of Majors have come forward following his March arrest and are cooperating with Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The prospects of more women waiting in the wings will mark a dramatic turn in the case and comes on the heels of his publicist and management firm cutting ties with the star early this week. But his attorney did say that Jonathan Majors is innocent, has not abused anyone. We have provided irrevocable evidence to the district attorney that charges are false. We are confident that he will be fully exonerated. And then they also said they're also saying that Marvel and Disney has had zero convo about replacing him. So what y'all think, man?
They've had the conversation.
Oh yeah. That's a straight up lie. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. That's the first thought I had was no matter what happens with this, if there's anybody else that feels like they got something to say, it's the time.
But how do you, I think the question is, this is a hard question to say. How do you,
for confessions?
Yeah. How do you prove something happened between two people if they had consensual? If he's saying, yo,
saying sex, this is abuse.
Abuse.
He choked the girl out.
No, I'm talking about, they're saying more women are coming forward. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. But I'm saying, like, if you're into some kinky, freaky stuff, like, is that, like, Because they're saying
my advice is
stay away from it.
Don't have sex before marriage, and don't do kinky stuff if you're gonna do that. Like, that's on you, buddy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, last story of the week is Jesus Remakes. So the movie Praise This is making Jesus Remakes hot in these streets. Have y'all seen the movie? Y'all seen it?
Yeah.
You seen the movie?
What movie?
It's called Praise This.
No.
Okay. The movie stars. No, I haven't seen it yet. The movie stars Chloe Bailey, Quavo, Drewski, and also gospel star Corinne Hawthorne. Well, Corinne Hawthorne remade the song "Money" by Cardi B over in the movie. She remade it. It's on everything, and Cardi B loved it. She was is a video with both of them in the studio, and Cardi B is like, "I love it. It sounds well produced. It's good," and she was giving the Lord praise. So, what do y'all think about that? Jesus Remakes being hot. And this, what's the name? You could say something too, bro.
I mean, I think it's cool, but I don't know. Like real impact wise, I mean, it's just like a little sprinkle of G's here and there. Kinda, you know, Cardi B being happy about it. The movie was cool though. I mean, it was funny as mess, to be honest.
What?
What? Praise This. It was
really.
It was funny.
Trailer was not.
It was really funny. And here's the thing. I think it did here's the thing, because it kind of had a little bit of a Let It Shine feel. I don't know if you guys seen Let It Shine.
Mm-mm.
Oh, movie on Disney, like really popular, like in like 2012. Anyways, but it had a lot like a Let It Shine type of feel, right?
Because I thought it was more. It reminded me of Fighting Temptation. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Nah.
Okay.
But here's the thing, because when I saw the trailer, I was kind of like, this looked like really over the top. But when I actually saw it, it still was a little over the top. But I think it was a good mixture of like, honestly, how a lot of Christians like. Just live their life. Yeah, it's just like there's like a ratchet side, and there's also this like trying to pursue righteousness as well.
Not supposed to be though.
What was the point though? Was the point still godly at the end, or was it just
again? I think it's more of a comedy. Again, like I said, it made me laugh. Like if it would like really made me take anything away, I would have been like, it made me take something away. But it was funny more than anything.
You
but
can spoil it.
It's all.
Somebody want to see it.
It's all over the place.
It's on them.
And it has like a bunch. It has a few comedians in it too. So it like
Country Wayne.
But yeah, it's a pretty. I mean, I recommend it.
Oh,
like
thumbs?
One thumb.
That's hilarious. But I mean, I think. What do y'all think about the whole remakes? Because like Quavo's on the soundtrack, and then it's just. I mean, I guess the thing is because so many people be like, of course we're doing a line for line with Mike Teasy. He's known right now getting popular because he's remaking People, and then the artists be like, yo, that was fire, blah blah blah. But one of my question is, should we continue to do remakes on that level? Because this is not like an independent artist doing remakes. It's like a major motion picture doing remakes, gospel remakes of mainstream records.
I mean, we've been doing that for years, so I don't know why it's a big deal now. But I mean, I guess if it gets the attention of the actual artist, and maybe that starts the conversation, fine. Yeah,
because I know Mike Teasy done that a couple times where the actual artist was like, yo, this is hard.
So I mean, in our day, that was considered corny.
Yeah. After a while, I mean, no, it really all depends on who the artist was in our day. In our day,
it depends on the remix.
No, if it depends on who the artist was. If the artist was reputable and people liked that person, they'd be like, "Oh, that was fire." But if you was somebody, they was like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah. So I mean, if it's working now, I think especially in the TikTok generation where people are just used to seeing people reuse content like that, it's a perfect time for it. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, now's the time.
Yeah. All right, man. Cop It section this week. Bizzle Lightwork Volume 3, New Tone Bandito 2, Reese Lachey Elevators, AI The Anomaly, Bonnets and Bontons single, Mikey J OMG single, Legacy I Gotta Do single, Ty Lin Big Miracle single, Zay Hill, Dion and Kev Moraz. I miss his name, all of them. Redeem Me single, Hilltop Society Best in Me remix single, Scooty Wop Crossword Walk single, and Bridgewater Saucin single. And now you can see this is on all the songs on Milk playlist, the best in Christian hip hop, gospel rap, Christian rap, and I Feel Good playlist, Christian R&B. All right, that's it for me, man.
All right, David, CHH Central. I want to kind of get an understanding of why you started this. And you're having a lot of success. Like, give people like a history of how that happened.
So I kind of grew up listening to Christian hip hop because my older brothers did. And I kind of stopped listening to like Christian Christian hip hop because I kind of thought it was corny for real. Like, because I just didn't know any other rappers except like the people from Reach Records, to be honest with you. So I started listening to a bunch of other artists growing up. Grew up like a believer for real. Like, I always had like a fire for God, but I was like it always, I always tell people this, like, it was like, I can describe my walk as just like a walk full of sanctification, like, because I always like have fire for God, but it was like me just taking steps continually closer to him and just seeking him more and more. So then like my junior year of high school, actually, I started feeling convicted more about the music I was listening to. It was really making me feel empty a lot of time. I was like, I just can't like really put my finger on it. So I ignored it for a little bit because I was like, I'm just tripping, like I'm just thinking about it too deep. And then the summer before my senior year, or before I left, after my senior year of high school, after I graduated, I was just about to get in the shower, and I was like, let me go check out these Christian rappers again, because it's been kind of a minute. And I started like with the ones I knew, like Trip Lee, Lecrae, Any Mini, all that type of stuff. Then Spotify started recommending all these artists to me, like Big Breeze, even Hovey, because I didn't know about Hovey at that point, and a bunch of other artists. So I made a playlist, and I just kept going with it. So then I kind of kept doing that. And then at the beginning of 2022, literally the first day of 2022, I felt like Holy Spirit moving me towards like make a Christian hip hop page. And I was like, it's such a specific thing. Like, I don't even know like if this will like if anybody will like, really care anything like that. But I was like, I don't care if anybody cares for real. It's like, I feel like the Lord's called me to do this. So let's do it. And let's be passionate about it. Cause I saw that Vert Mob actually released the album. And I was like, that's really cool. Like Christian rap group, kind of remind me of the Migos a little bit. I was like, it's really cool. Like they dropping an album that really is hype for real. So I wanted to post about that. So I did. And then I just kept staying consistent with it. Everything, like every next step, the Lord just showed me what I'm supposed to do. Then I started doing it on TikTok like a few days later. Took it to YouTube like a bunch of months later. And then I actually worked in my church for a little bit, because it's kind of actually a long story with college. I don't know if you want me to go into it a bunch, but is that cool if I?
Yeah,
okay. So I went to college 45 minutes away from me to play football, actually. But I was also struggling with a lot of mental health stuff at the time. So I was struggling with a lot of depression at the time. Even though I was, and here's the thing, I was like, I tell people like I was rooted in the word, rooted in prayer, all that type of stuff. But it was just like I was really struggling, and struggling just with a lot of identity stuff. Like I knew who I was in Christ, but did I believe it necessarily? Like, did I believe who I was really, special and mattered and all that type of stuff? Not really. So I played football down there. Actually started, which was really cool. Started defensive back. And actually, after one of our games, we had just, because I played Division III, I had an offer from a few Division II schools, but I went to Division III because the school was like really, really good. We beat like a top 25 team in our division. We just beat them. We just knocked them off the road. And I came back the next day, and I kept on having these thoughts of like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was really struggling with that for like a long time, but I just never did anything about it, because I was like, I just got to keep on putting my head down, keep being tough, all that type of stuff. I struggled actually with depression since my freshman year of high school, but I just kept on like, praying about it. But I just never really like dealt with it for real. And then there was one night where I went out on the street and I was just praying that a car would hit me. And I was literally yelling at the top of my lungs. And I was like, God, I love you and I love your will and I want your will for my life, but I hate I hate living, to be honest. Like I'm struggling so much with this on a daily. At that point, I was also failing one of my classes, which was, I was giving everything I had. If I failed that class, it was going to take away my scholarship money, all that type of stuff. Football was, again, going pretty well, but I was just struggling with a lot of things. And then I was admitted into a psych ward a few days later. There they diagnosed me with bipolar, depression, a bunch of other stuff. And I remember I was really praying like, God, like, because I remember I seen videos when people was like, I was in a situation, I asked God to save me at a certain point, and they felt the Holy Spirit just come over them or something like that. And I was like, I was kind of hoping for that moment. I wasn't exact, like, I know some people probably be like, you shouldn't like tempt God in that type of way or something like that. But I was really just like really looking for the presence of the Lord. And I remember looking at the four walls that surrounded me in the psych ward. And I was like, this is God's way of like protecting me. This is God's way of saving me. And those next 3 days just really tapped in with him. I read like all the Gospel of Matthew. Came home, because before I actually left, I knew I wanted to do ministry. So I actually told my mom, because I was sitting in my photography class, and I was like, this stuff is boring for real. Like, I really want to like give, like, I want my life to be about like laying down my life to serve other people. That's what I care about. Like, I'm not about like making a bunch of money. I'm not about like doing all that type of stuff. Of course I want to like provide for my family one day, but like I want to be a servant. Like I want to be a vessel and help other people. And I told my mom that. So literally I was already supposed to do ministry, so I came back. I started working at my church that I've been involved with since I was in like 5th grade, and then worked there for a while. And then again I started doing CHA Central while I was doing working at my ministry on the side. And then actually in December, that's when I started doing CHA Central like full time. That's when God moved me towards full time. And then I actually got the opportunity to play semi-pro football after too, which was a blessing, because I literally was like, God, like, you know, I know I stopped playing at the college level. Like, you know, if football is gonna bring you glory, then like allow it to be in my life. But if it's not, like, you know, if you got better plans for me, then cut it off. And he allowed me the opportunity literally like 2 weeks after I got back. There was this tryout literally that was just in front of my face for this team. And I played for them. Actually, we won a championship on our league, which was really cool. And they actually went to go play for a national semi-pro championship, which was really cool. So I'm actually playing for another team this year, starting, and I actually just got named captain, which is a blessing.
Wow, cool.
So I'm playing that. And again, then in December, just to fast forward a little bit, that's when I went full-time with CHA Central, because I felt like God was calling me to it in the summer, but I was like, let me be slow and patient about this. Let me keep praying about it. And God kept calling me to it. So I'm really just at this point trying to continue to just expand the vision, because actually I just took a recent break. It was like a 3-4 day break, and I realized God was really showing me just like vision, like because I was like, you know, I wanted to just be like an advocate for like CHH and be able to really just highlight these artists, because they're aiming to glorify the Lord, and that's all that matters. I want to be able to like put them on for real, so other people can see them and stuff like that, so they can glorify the Lord. But I was like, you know, I feel like God's blessed me with a lot of other gifts, and even though like, you know, I get nervous about him speaking and all that type of stuff or whatever, I remember like, you know, his strength is sufficient in my weakness. And I was like, you know what, it's so much more. It is about Christian hip hop, but also I can have the opportunity to speak messages and all this type of stuff. So just continue to expand the vision and continue to try to grow platforms. But yeah, that's how we started, just conviction, and then just consistency and discipline with that, and just continue to stay tapped in with God's word and his spirit, and just allow him to lead the way. And he's remained there with me through a bunch of trials and stuff like that. And I'm thankful to say I'm in a lot better place mentally and stuff like that. I'm in a lot better place, even physically and stuff like that. And I'm super thankful. I imagine doing stuff like this as a dream, honestly. Like even being on this, like I literally was talking to my mom. I was like, you know, I want to make videos and tell people about Jesus. I want to travel the world. I just want to do that type of stuff. And it seemed impossible. But like DJ Khaled said, God did.
Yeah, that's dope.
Man, we're proud of you, man.
Yeah,
I
appreciate
it. Man, you're doing a great job, bro. We got your back. If you need any help with anything, we got you, bro.
Thank you for
but yeah, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.